Alright, so this is a general explanation of a somewhat general idea of automating the assembly line and technically any location-specific multi-block with multiple inputs without needing to define each of them using something like SFM or Open Computers to tell it when you get these items, you're crafting this, put this item here, this item here. None of that. The basic idea is that it will pull out of this chest and try to input to the first inventory it can, which will be here. Upon entering this pipe, there is an activity detector that will trigger a latch, which will disable the pipe, which is then repeated for each input. I only have 4 here. For an assembly line, you'd probably want a lot more, but this is mostly a demonstration. Now, I put items in like this. The idea is that item 1 will go into chest 1, the stack of 2 will go into 2, and so on. When we enable it, we see that items are very much being transferred into each chest. We do have 1 in here, we have 2 in here, 3 in here, and 4 in here. What I'm currently using is just a button to reset the latches, but ideally you would probably want to use something which would possibly be an AND gate of all of your item pipes, such that they have all got a recipe it's currently crafting, and then you could run that into some type of latch, which would then be flipped and give this a signal when all of your input buses and fluid hatches are empty in whatever you're using. That way it knows it's ready for a new cycle. A small addition to this, if you wanted to apply this to multiple assembly lines, you have a few options, but a fairly easy one is simply outputting from these inventories. What you can do is set each one of these up to more Gregtech pipes, and then run each of those into each input bus on your assembly line, each of the first slots, and then do a similar thing like this, such that when it goes into one slot, when you're crafting in the first assembly line, it will trigger a signal that will then get reset by the assembly line being empty, essentially making it so you won't put your items into an assembly line that already has items in it. And using this, it should choose the first assembly line that has no inputs in it. And yeah, that's a somewhat general way of a very simplistic redstone Gregtech based assembly line automation that doesn't require individual recipe definitions.